Hello, I'm Crushy McCiderface, and I'm here to show you the Plug 5 Plus from Cinq. So this top cap for your stereo tube, it's got USB-C. So this little hat sits on top a battery bank that hides inside the stereo tube. And if you look right up here, you can actually charge your USB-C from it. So you can get USB-C cables to charge your phone, your Garmin, whatever it is you need. Inside the stereo tube is a battery pack, which I'm not going to bother taking out right now. But it's about that long, and a cable pokes through the bottom, goes down to my dyno here. I've got Sun 28 and I love it. And this cable is zip tied on, nice and professional. And so that will charge a battery pack in here, and then this means I can charge my phone, or I can charge a portable battery pack as well and have all the power. So why do I want one of these on my bike? I'm a bike packer and I'll do really long distances. I'll ride for days, weeks, months on end, and I try and stay in hotels as little as possible. So for a weekend, I want to be able to ride the whole way through and not have to like sit around at a coffee shop for ages trying to charge a bunch of different devices. Some people will use a portable battery pack, and those are great. You can get 10,000, 20,000 milliamp battery packs, and you charge that up, and you can just kind of siphon electricity off of that to charge your phone or to charge your rechargeable lights maybe. But at some point that will run out, and when that happens you just have nothing. You are in the dark with no lights, no power, scrambling to get to wherever it is you're going, and that's not necessarily the best situation. With this top cap, with this setup, I actually managed to do all of Denmark in like 24 hours because I just got on my bike and started cycling the whole way through the night. My dyno and my light helped, but being able to charge my phone and my Garmin just meant I could keep on going forever. So the capacity of this is not as big as the average battery pack you'll find, but the benefit is because it's constantly charging off my dyno, I've never really had it run out. I've usually got a little portable speaker playing up here, keeping me sane, and I just leave that plugged in between phone charges. And I've got my little Garmin up here that it can charge, and it's basically always got power. It just keeps on charging all my things as long as my bike's going. So you can also leave things plugged in while you get off the bike and go for a bit of lunch, because it will just keep on charging away when you stop as well. So it's not the biggest capacity, but it's pretty useful. There it is, check it out, it's flashing red. That means that my battery is completely dead. And what's annoying about that is that my battery shouldn't be completely dead, because I was riding this a whole bunch and then I didn't ride it again. The only reason the battery should discharge once it's been completely full up is that you've left it plugged in and it's used all its electricity. But there's a huge problem with the Cinq. If it rains at any point, you're screwed. When I first heard the instructions for the Cinq, it says like don't use it in the rain. And I just thought that meant don't have this little top cap spun out and anything plugged in, because some like water vapor will get in. But they're not talking about leaving this open in the rain. They mean even when it's closed, you shouldn't let any rain or water get on it. And if you're out touring, it's probably at some point it's gonna rain. What I do, I have the very expensive Cinq Plug Power Plus 5 cover, which you can buy from me for 20 euros. And I put that on there, and then I put that on there, and that that is, I think, the only thing you can really do about it, because yeah, thank you. Because if you're out and about, it doesn't matter where you're going, at some point it might rain. Whether you're being asked to leave your bike outside for the night because wherever you're staying won't let you in, or you just are riding through Ireland in winter, even if you're in New Mexico, it's probably going to bloody rain at some point. And I don't know what they recommend you do, hide under a very waterproof tree until it passes.
Is that a lollipop cover?
Oh, this, it was from that really nice hotel we were cycling through Spain, and he gave me like it's like Spanish Haribo bag or something. It's just some gummy worms, and it's actually done me a really good job for 4 months. I've been keeping this little bit of plastic in my power bag for 4 months. It really has kept the rain off, but we were out cocking around the other day. It's so cool! This cap is busted. There is another bit of an issue, which is there are some cables that won't quite fit. You'll notice that it's actually a bit recessed behind this floaty cap, and some cables, just the plastic housing around the end, is a little bit too wide that it actually won't fit in there. Let's talk a little bit about the installation. This device is really complicated to fit into your bike. I am rubbish at that sort of stuff, and I got some help from MacGyver. It's a cool nickname from our friends in Boston. So the instruction manual was, put it in your bike and then attach a thing. It's pretty
Yeah, it had a tiny little diagram in size 6 font with 3 little cables, and it was not clear at all.
We had to like shrink wrap a bunch of cables and a bunch of other complicated things. So it is going to be a difficult install regardless, but they also just haven't provided you with the information to a point where an experienced bike mechanic didn't know what the hell was going on and had to just like trial and error her way through some stuff. So
the first shop you took it to installed it wrong, right?
Yeah, damn, I forgot about that.
And you had to get it removed.
Yeah.
And sent back.
The first one was installed slightly wrong. I think they might have short-circuited something. I basically cycled it home from the shop in Czech Republic back to the hotel, and it was working great. And then I got it in the hotel, and it was making a really high-pitched whine, and then it just died.
We later learned that that was a problem with their first version model, and that was we had to figure out a specific bike shop to be able to install it because not every shop has the tools and the know-how.
If you're buying one of these, definitely don't get one second-hand because you might be picking up first generation and they just don't work at all. If you're buying one from online somewhere, then you're probably getting a second generation and you should be fine apart from all the other problems we've discussed. There's a few other problems with this unit. If you have it installed and there's a problem and they ask you to send it back, doing that mid-tour is pretty annoying because then you'll do what Heidi had to do, which is remove it, send it back, and then just not have a top cap for a while. So her handlebars were mostly held on with just good luck and wishes for the future. So anyway, there's a bunch of pros and cons with the Cinq. It's difficult, it's expensive, it doesn't work if it rains. And it might not work, even if it doesn't rain. They keep saying that they're working on the problem.
They have admitted that there are design flaws in the current model. So.
Yeah, well, like I mentioned earlier, they just said, like, don't use it if it's raining. Just stay inside if it's wet. But there's been times where I didn't really have a choice. It's not like I'm choosing to go out in the middle of a torrential storm. Like, I got off a ferry coming back to the UK, and it was a lovely day when I got on. And then as I'm kind of just coming out of the boat, it starts to just absolutely piss it down. I didn't have time to get my little cover cap on because there were giant trucks trying to murder me. So it's not always something you can just quickly and easily do. And you might not always be your choice to be in the rain. There might not be a tree to hide behind if it suddenly starts. So yeah, not really very impressed with the whole don't use it if it's raining argument.
But when it does work, it's great.
Yeah.
So we're still trying.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it works, it's awesome, but it just doesn't work often or all the time or at all. So we're trying to evaluate other options, but they're all really expensive. And buying a $300 unit and finding out that it's shit is quite an investment and quite unfortunate. So
we have two.
We have two of them. It's not just an unlucky experience. The folks at your bike shop basically said that they're not recommending it to people anymore.
That's right.
And so I have a hard time recommending it to anybody based on these problems, but I also don't know what I'd recommend to you. So Cinq are apparently quite happy to keep on sending us replacement top caps. We've had 4?
I lost count.
Right, at least 3 top caps off them, and hopefully they'll send us another one because I just broke mine the other day. But in the past, they've taken a really long time. You've been chasing them for, what, a month or 2 last time?
At least, yeah.
That's ridiculous. If you're selling things that you know have an issue and you aren't fixing it, you should at least quickly replace the defective unit. But be responsive, or don't make them chase you is the main thing. And apart from that, we would love to return these, but they won't let us. They just said, we'll keep on sending you infinite of these little top caps until they figure it out. But they just can't return it. Definitely a mixed review. Not a huge fan, but I also love it when it works, and then it stops working and I hate it. I'm here to show you the Plug Plus 5.
Nope.
The Plus Plug 5?
Nope.
Oh, the Plug Plus 5.
Nope.
Fuck.